Ceramicist Paul Mathieu says, Marcel Duchamp showed us that any object can be art. Joseph Beuys expanded this. Any activity can be art. Breathing, walking, talking to a dead rabbit. If anything can be art, there is always art in craft, but not always craft in art. If everything can be art, not everything can be craft. Mathieu proposes that craft requires skill, material specificity, clay, wood, fiber, glass, the loom, the lathe, the kiln. Mathieu speaks of a conceptual constant in craft, a seamless continuity across time. A bowl no matter when, how, by whom, is conceptually the same. A bowl. Craft endures, craft stabilizes. Cognitive scientist Margaret Bowden says that craft must be functional. Fine art need not be functional. Perhaps should not even be functional at all. Craft follows the right methods, traditional skills, recognizable forms. Artists, on the other hand, set their own standards. Bowden proposes that art thrives on novelty, on surprise. Craft perfects skill. Art explores ideas. Craft is anonymous mastery, whereas art seeks the limelight. Craft belongs to daily life, to eating, drinking, cooking, keeping warm. Craft, Bowden writes, exploits the possibilities of the body, and sometimes even reveals them more clearly than fine art does. Does this mean that dance is craft and not art? There's also a specious division of craft and art in relation to gender. Crafts are often associated with one gender and arts the other. Objects that, to quote Howard Rossetti, professor of art history at Virginia Commonwealth University, are covers, containers, or supports. Thinking of weaving and painting. Thinking of Annie Albers and Josef Albers. Both worked at Bauhaus, both at Black Mountain College, both worked at Yale University. Her medium was mostly weaving, his mostly painting. Yet which is more well known, the painter or the weaver? How would their trajectories through life have been different if the man were the weaver and the woman were the painter? Bowden and Mathieu are speaking about substances, about clay and canvas, about hand and machine, about use and uselessness, about object categories. Rossetti about intentions, about covering, containing, and supporting. I say that art and craft are not tied to materials, intentions, functions, or gender, but rather art and craft are processes themselves that can be applied to anything. That everything that is considered art or craft has simultaneous artness and craftness. Some have a little more artness, some have a little more craftness. And the amount of art and craft in each object can change through time as aesthetics and values evolve. Art and craft are different orientations towards precedent and change. Every object, every phenomenon has potentially both precedent and change. Art searches for possibility, craft valorizes certain possibilities. Art asks, what if? Craft states what is. Art shifts, craft reaches. Art exceeds precedent, craft works within precedent. Art shifts the frame, craft frames the shift. Art risks failure, craft aims for success. Ooh, that's a new one. Art is variation, craft is theme. Art is an open field, craft is a closed category. Art is non-hierarchical. Craft exists because of hierarchy. Craft gathers and preserves. Art disperses and transforms. Without craft, nothing continues. Without art, nothing changes. Of this performance, Margaret Bowden might ask, is it functional? Does it serve a practical purpose? Does it employ the right methods? Yes. Does it demonstrate skill perfected through repetition? Is it anchored in tradition? Does it belong to daily life? Does it exploit the possibilities of the body and make them perceptible? Or does it set its own aesthetic standards? Does it seek novelty? Does it exceed precedent? Do you know what precedent this performance has? Is it anonymous mastery? Or does it aim for the individual voice? Of this performance, Paul Mathieu might ask, can this simply be art because anything can be art? If any object or activity can be art, is this performance art by declaration alone? And if so, where is its craft? Is there medium specificity? What medium is this? A devotion to material, to technique, to skill? Is there a conceptual constant? What is the continuity that ties this act to all others that came before it? Or does this act sever continuity in the name of transformation? Of this performance, I ask, where is it searching for possibility? And where is it stabilizing certain possibilities? Where is it working within precedent? And where is it exceeding precedent? Where is the repetition? And where is the variation, the shift of the frame itself? Where does it risk failure? And where does it aim at success? Perhaps the question is not whether this is art or craft, but how art and craft are inhabiting it, giving rise to it through their tension, their oscillation. Art and craft are always already present, not in the material, not in the function, not in the hand or the machine, but in the relationship between what has been and what could be, what will be, and that relationship is always shifting.